Gareth Southgate's England squad brought about a lot of debate. Joe Hart's experience wasn't needed, Jack Wilshere apparently wasn't fit enough, and John Joe Shelby didn't even enter the discussion. But while some Three Lions fans are up in arms about the squad, our frustrations are really put into perspective when you consider some of the players who other countries didn't pick. Let's take a look at the strongest starting 11 of players who have not been selected for the World Cup, and we're not including injured players or those from nations who didn't qualify for the tournament. In goal is Ralph Farman. When you consider the calibre of goalkeeper that Germany had taken to the World Cup this summer, it should be no surprise that it would be a German in our team. The Germans have initially selected Manuel Neuer, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Kevin Trapp and Bernd Leno, yet Ralph Farman remains on the sidelines in international purgatory. The Schalke stopper has never actually played for his country, despite his impressive performances, and played an important role in Schalke's season that saw them finish second behind Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. Right back is Nelson Semedo. The Portuguese fullback just gets in this team ahead of his Barcelona teammate Sergio Roberto, who also failed to make the Spain squad. We've chosen Semedo though, who's missed out on the Portugal squad behind the likes of Cedric and Leicester's newest signing Ricardo Pereira. Semedo has been in and out of the Barcelona team all season, competing with Sergio Roberto, and neither of them nailing down the right back slot at the new camp looks to have cost both of them their place at the World Cup. Aged just 24, Semedo will surely get another chance to compete on football's grandest stage. Centre back David Luiz. Poor David Luiz, this season has been a disaster, made even worse after his incredibly heroic return to Chelsea last summer. The defender helped Antonio Conte win the Premier League title, but the Italian gaffer dumped Luiz like yesterday's jam this season, which has ended up with Luiz missing out on the World Cup. Incredibly, Luiz has just played twice for Brazil since 2015 ended, and now being the ripe old age of 31, it looks like he'll never play at a World Cup again, meaning his final memory of the tournament will be getting his arse handed to him by a rampant Germany side, then losing the third place playoff to the Netherlands 3-0. He's alongside Benedikt Höwedes. Speaking of that Germany side, one member in Benedikt Höwedes will not be there again at Russia 2018, having been a prominent figure at left back for the Germans 4 years ago. The defender finally left Schalke last summer, making a huge move to Juventus on loan, but it couldn't have gone any worse. With injuries early on, Höwedes barely played in Turin, meaning he's been replaced in the international setup and likely won't be making his Juventus move permanent. So Höwedes is heading back to Schalke and won't get the chance to win back-to-back World Cups. Left back is Alexandro. He's one of the most coveted left backs in world football right now, but Alexandro won't even be going to the World Cup with Brazil, with the Samba Stars instead selecting Marcelo and Felipe Luis, who both reside in Madrid and are celebrating European trophies. As for Sandro, he'll be back at home waiting to reunite with his Juventus teammates, where he'll be aiming to win a fourth consecutive Serie A title, unless of course he leaves Italy, with rumours of a move to Manchester United refusing to go away. Our first midfielder is Fabinho. Liverpool's newest signing Fabinho won't be going to the World Cup with Brazil, but like his countryman Alexandro, that doesn't mean he's not any good. The midfielder has cost the Reds more than 40 million quid and will be the new anchor for Jurgen Klopp's midfield, which is exactly the role he's taking on in our not selected for the World Cup 11. Also able to play at right back, Fabinho surprisingly only has 4 Brazil caps to his name, so for all his talent, it might not be that big a shock to the natives that he's not going to be part of the squad in Russia. Next up is Emery Chan. The man who Fabinho is going to replace at Liverpool, the pair have something in common as Emery Chan hasn't been picked for the World Cup either, with a period missed due to injury probably killing his World Cup dreams. The Rolls-Royce midfielder had been performing well for Liverpool until he was struck down with a back injury, and despite now being back to full fitness, didn't even make the German preliminary squad. Chan has made 28 national appearances since his debut in 2015, but will have to wait until 2022 to play at a World Cup. Our third midfielder is Radja Nainggolan. There was massive uproar when Radja Nainggolan was left out of the Belgium squad, with Roberto Martinez believing the Roman midfielder would not have fit the system he wants to play, which in all honesty is a load of tripe. Of course, the Belgium supporters were outraged that one of their star players had been left out of the squad and organised a protest against the decision, with 9,000 people set to attend the event according to Facebook. In the end though, only 23 people showed up and Nainggolan remains out of the Belgium World Cup squad. Our front three begins with Anthony Marcial. This is more a testament to the quality of the French squad, as there was no space for Anthony Marcial along with various other French stars. Sadly for Marcial, the forward has been let down by manager Jose Mourinho, with limited minutes at Old Trafford despite an impressive start of the season, resulting in the youngster missing out on his first chance to appear at a World Cup. Then again, Marcial has hardly been prolific for his country, scoring just 1 goal so far in French colours, so maybe Mourinho is onto something. Either way, he's an extremely talented footballer and his future needs to be addressed this summer. Next up we've got Alvaro Morata. Last summer the Spaniard was swapping Juventus for Chelsea for a whopping £60 million, but a year on his Blues' future is in doubt and he's got the summer off after failing to make the Spain squad, despite his brilliant record on the international stage. Since debuting in 2014, Morata has played 23 times for his country and scored 13 goals, which is more than any of the other forwards that are part of the Spain squad. Sure, it's been a bad-ish season for Morata, but he's not been as bad as people have made out, and it's a massive shock that he's not going to be at the World Cup. And finally, it's Mauro Icardi. Now this has to be the biggest surprise of them all. I know Argentina have a wealth of talent to choose from going forward, but surely a man who has scored 29 goals this season has a place in the squad. That's how many times Mauro Icardi found the back of the net for Inter Milan this season, more than any other player in Serie A other than Ciro Immobile, who also got 29, and that's including Gonzalo Higuain, who only managed just 16 goals for the champions Juve. Amazingly, Icardi only has 4 caps for Argentina, despite scoring more than 100 goals for Inter in the past 5 seasons. Argentina can't find room for Mauro Icardi in their squad, yet Danny Welbeck is on the plane for England. Christ, this could be a rough summer. So that's our best 11 of players who didn't get picked for the World Cup. Let us know your team in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.